500 countries, and in some countries, I was just in Norway last week, and they're still showing it on TV nowadays.
Did you get your 20 cent residual?
Yeah, I just got a residuals check for like 49 cents the other day. Yeah, this was an underwater bungee jump. My third video was a how-to video, and I wanted to make it entertaining. So if somebody doesn't want to learn how to do a track stand, they can still watch the video and have fun with it. And first I looked for a suitable student, which you will meet in a second. But this was the beginning of the movie, and originally I wanted to do this underwater bungee jump. I basically wanted to be underwater, tied to a rope with some divers, and the bungee preloaded, and then the idea was the divers cut the rope and I come shooting out of this river into the air. And we set it all up, we did tests, we went home, and overnight it rained so much that the river rose and it got really dangerous, and we had some weights underwater that shifted to a really dangerous spot, and we had to call it off. So I said, well, what can we do? Let's just have the bungee cord a bit longer, and I jumped down and tried to submerge for at least a split second, so I'm still having that effect of coming out of the water, and I did it, and the first time it was really easy, and the second time I was a little bit sideways, and it hurt a lot, man. But that was the beginning, and that was my student in the film, Mr. Chicks. He was a chimpanzee, and she was a female monkey, but was called Mr. Chicks, and
okay,
check this out.
No monkey, I just remember that part. No monkey, no.
So let me introduce you, Mr. Chicks. Welcome. Give me 5, Mr. Chicks. Thank you. How's it going? How you like your bike? You're on the right circle. Right, see, right, get perfect, huh? Good, see? All right, see? You try to ride a circle. Get tighter and tighter each time. All right, good one. Yeah. Yes, now you have to go out and learn. Yes, you just practice. Remember everything I told you. And next time we do more. Say goodbye. Bye. Yes, so just remember, you have to concentrate each time you go riding now. Yes, yes, and always be careful. Yes, with your helmet. Yes, okay, goodbye. Bye.
Going for the treasure. You know where that is?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that's when I first met you that year in Cape Town. So anyway, the monkey, that was one of my favorite moments of my whole career, I think. And then in the mid-90s, I wanted to take my biking skills and take into real situations, and I started doing these adventure trips, and I wanted to be kind of the Indiana Jones of mountain biking. Not just ride at places that nobody had ridden before, or but also have a little storyline, usually maybe in search of something mysterious or historical. And we started going to some pretty cool places. This was early on a trip to Machu Picchu, which is the old Inca town in Peru. There was this really cool trail going up on the one side of the mountain, and you came to the backside and it was like this, and it was okay for me, but the photographer, he couldn't ride a meter. It was like on hardtails back then with barely any suspension and stuff. But can highly recommend to visit that place sometimes. And then this was another trip in Bolivia. This time Sarah Ballantyne came along. She was at the time cross-country world champion and a famous adventure racer. And Ira Vick was there with me. He was a young friend of mine. And we crossed the Andes from the high desert into the jungle on another old Inca trail. And in the background you see there, that's Illimani. That's a 6,000 meter peak in Bolivia. And when we do these trips, we have often porters on these trips that help us with the logistics, because there's also a film crew usually there, and